Okay, I'm just going to wrap the rod. You just simply put a loop all the way round, 360 degrees round your first pole. Then just simply slide it round the poles. Find yourself a nice central area so you can reach either pole, and you can do this by making sure you can just touch each pole with your rod tip, and then you can get a nice motion going round the back of the pole, coming back round the front. And I'm going to talk to you about how to get the maximum distance, not only out of the kit you use, i.e. the rod and reel, but out of the orbit line as well. There's a few little tweaks you can do with this line that will make it fish even further. So that's that wrapped up, and when you're taking it back off the sticks, just put the rod at 12 o'clock in the centre, and the line will simply just lift off of the sticks. Keep a nice tension on it so you haven't got a loose line going back on the spool. It's nice and tight. Then we're ready to do the cast. Right, so we're wrapped up and we're going to cast long distance. I'm using a Basia reel here, which is a big pit reel. It's a very light reel, so that's going to help me with the speed of the cast. The rod is a 13-foot high sieve from Free Spirit. It's a very powerful rod, and you're going to need that if you're fishing a long way. Something with a bit of backbone in it. These are about a 4 to 5 ounce cast rod, so they can handle leads between 4 and 5 very easily. Generally, I'm going to cast with a lead in and around 3 to 4 ounces. And you want to look at the aerodynamics of the lead. You don't want a flat bottom on it, you want a nice pointed lead. Here I've got a zip lead that's going to cut through the air and help me with the range. Then we've got the main line. You want a decent casting main line. I've got the Orbit on here. The Orbit comes in 300 metres and it's tapered at each end. It starts at 40 pound going down to 15. Then we do a 35 to 12 as well, and a 35 to 10. So on here I've got the 40 down to 15 pound. You get about 2.5 lengths of shock leader, and I like to take some of that off. I like to have about 2 wraps of shock lead around the spool. If you leave the lot on there, that thick 40 pound line is going to rattle through the eyes. What you want is a shorter length of the 40 pound line as you can get away with. So I have it about 2 times around my spool, and it's easy to see it because it changes colour. It goes a very dark green. So that's what I've got on here. So big pit reel, powerful rod that's 13 foot, a tapered casting line, and a zip lead. So I always like to start with my spool in, so you ain't putting any undue pressure on the spindle of the reel. And I want the lead roughly to be from the spigot to the next eye up. You don't want it any shorter than that. You want to use the power of the rod. So now you're going to look at your casting position. I prefer to have my arms slightly bent. I don't want straight arms because I want to punch then pull, and you can't do that when your arms are straight. I like 1 foot forward, which matches the hand that is out, and then I've got this hand here, and now I'm looking to get as much speed from the rod tip to the front of the cast. There you go. That's 38 wraps, and that looks relatively easy on 15 pound line. It's quite important to have that line in a clip, because you're going to hit the clip and it's going to fling the rig straight out behind the lead. And when you're casting a long way, the rig is spending a lot of time behind the lead. So as it hits it in the air, the rig's going to flick forward, it's going to come down. As you hold it down, it's going to give you a perfect presentation. So let's get a rig on and make sure we can still make that clip. I always like to give my line a little bit of water on the way in. I probably spent about 8 months testing the Orbit, and the 10 I've hit up to about 47 wraps. So it's really good casting line, and I actually ain't no big caster. Casting is about practice. You'll find if you're fishing a small water for the year and you're not well practiced, when you go back to fishing a big water, it will take you a little while to get back into it. So if you're coming out to a venue like we're at now, where you know it's a lot of long casts, it might be worth it the week or 2 weeks before you go, going down to somewhere like a local field or a big water if you can get away with it, and practicing your casting for a couple of hours and just getting your eye in. So here we go, we've got the rig on. Now get the rod behind me, good casting position. I like to have 1 foot forward and I'm looking for tip speed. And that is flying. Bang, smack that clip that time. Down it goes, out the clip. I've got a nice straight line because I had it in the clip. That helps take any of the bow out of the line at that range. Now all we need is a nice big carp.